At what point do you believe people are going to stop spending time hating on each other and try to spend more time to learn about each other? Well, that's one of the common questions we all been trying to figure out for some time. But guess what? We're going to talk about it today.
This is Ignition 843, The Wire, hosted by the one and only DJ Robi Keit and Miss Lika Bee, where the vibe is real, the talk is raw, and the truth always finds a microphone. Now, let's get to it.
Hey everybody, I'm Wade Simmons. I'm joining my brother DJ Robi Keit and my sister Lika Bee. I'm a filmmaker, funeral service worker, somewhat of a pro wrestler, but today we're here to talk about not comparing yourself for lack of love and racism. So, I feel like as people who are sharing our voice, it's important to speak on things that might be a little uncomfortable sometimes, but they have to be talked about. So we're here.
That's what's up, brother.
Great to be here with you.
I just, felt the need to, first of all, start out by, just encouraging people to not compare your life to other people, because I'm coming across so many people who kind of feel like they're not where they want to be. But sometimes when you look at people who you think they're at where you think you want to be at, they got problems too. So it's just good to be thankful, So I'm going to pass the torch to my sister. How you doing today?
Oh, I am doing wonderful ways. So great to be with you today. That comparison thing is something I think many of us grow up with as kids. You start learning to compete in sports and you learn to compete in different areas of life. You compete with your siblings. So you are comparing yourself with everything else. And as a child, you're not emotionally developed enough to understand that that's probably not a great thing. It's also encouraged by adults for you to beat, win, do all the things. And so it's unfortunately ingrained in many of us as a young person. And it is sometimes hard to break those patterns. So definitely understand the need to talk about that today. What about you,
Yeah.
Robbie?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about you. I think I got to be the oddball of the camp and come out with something a little different. But to be realistic, some of the things that prohibit us from success sometimes is worrying about what other people think, what other people feel, those type of things. I think the biggest process to anyone's success is to just stay away from negativity. You get what I'm saying? The most you can do for people out of hatred in their hearts, pray for them.
Yeah.
Pray for them. Try your best to help them. Try to, heal them any way that you can. But like you said, Brother Wade, there's so much negativity out there. Sometimes you can't even do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you try to assist people, and they try to push you away sometimes. And,
Yeah.
I don't believe in giving up. Some of us, we go through those same things. There's so many different challenges that we face, and sometimes we don't like to express them to others because we want to keep it balled up within.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's always good to open up sometimes. Sometimes when you vent is one of the biggest healings in the world. And
Mm-hmm.
Yourself, both of y'all know, we are people of God, and that's the first opinion we need to and ask for anything. And then some of the people that's around us, then we talk to them. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with opening up.
Absolutely.
Some of us seem like we intimidated of that.
Yeah.
There's no intimidation when you need help.
That's true.
You know
We shouldn't be
So-
ashamed. Yeah, because sometimes the world makes people, I don't know, and it kind of stems from a lack of love. I think sometimes because in this world we live in, sometimes some people, not all people, but some people can be so critical of others. I think that kind of sometimes causes people to kind of compare their life too, because sometimes people are looking at other people like, well, why is this happening for them or this? But again, you never know. Sometimes everything is not what it look like. Sometimes some people can look like they doing better and they probably doing worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
Ooh,
but we live
preach.
in this society that just, kind of pressures people into thinking that you just have to have life looking a certain way, and it's not. None of our life is always what we want it to be all the time. But I always say life is not fair, but it's what you make it. And if you're a believer,
That's
like
right.
you got the Most High God
It
on your
is
side,
definitely what you do.
it's always gonna work out for you. We're not gonna like everything that happened to us, but it's okay. Everybody goes through things. I ain't ever met no human being that didn't.
Right.
There's not a person on this
What's
planet that haven't gone through something. So that's absolutely true. The other thing is that whole people look like they're doing better than you and you're envious of them. They have the mini mansion that's, 6,000 square feet and 3-car garage and travel all the time. And then they're one paycheck and from the street, just like other people. But we are always comparing. I don't care what nobody say. People are always comparing themselves to other people, even unwittingly. You do it. You might catch yourself, but
Yeah.
a lot of times we do. Like I'm 50, they 30. Why I didn't get this done at that age? I do that.
right.
I'm
Look,
definitely gone there. So it's
I'm trying to get there, God willing.
Yeah, one of the things for me coming up, and I honestly say this here, it wasn't so much of trying to compare myself to other people. It's just I just wanted certain things. And
Yeah.
like we were speaking about the hatred part of it, that's when you also know who's for you and who's not.
Yeah.
Everything I achieved, everything I got, I worked hard to get it. You get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? I'm not the
yeah.
type that accept handouts. Um, and the reason for that, like I say, I come from working background and everything. See, I found out that people that be in so much competition, like you said, they're lonely. They're lonely.
hmm
They need certain things in order to ramp them up. And sometimes it's those materialistic things. You get what I'm saying? So if you need those type of things to ramp you up, be successful, that's not living life. That's not enjoying life. That's not being happy. You putting these
Yeah.
things around you because deep down you lonely and you want attention.
Missing something.
Now,
You're missing
yeah, you're
something.
missing something.
Yeah.
So now if you're doing this, getting these things well because that's something that you really want to do, cool, do it. I know there's also too a lot of people that have a whole bunch of friends is because they be around a crowd. They can't stand to be alone. And when
Ooh,
it
that's some
comes
speak
to
on
the
that,
hate,
boy.
yeah, when it comes to the hatred part of, when you have people out there that resent what you do, they're doing that because they're jealous. They're jealous.
And it's
They
crazy
see
because
that you don't. Go ahehead, brother. Go ahead.
I feel like God gave
No,
all of
go.
us talents and skills. Like I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like we should be thankful for the gifts and talents that we have, because I feel like if I see somebody else doing something super cool or something that maybe I struggle to do, I'm gonna cheerlead them on. I
That's
ain't sitting
it.
back saying I wish you,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I don't know what they went through to get to where they were. I mean, I know what I went through to get to the places that God blessed me to be at, but I ain't
Right.
hating on nobody, because everybody got a time to shine. Everybody got a time to be born, a time to die. A time to laugh, a time to mourn. That's part of being human. So no need to be hating on nobody.
Yeah, yeah. But
I gotta
it's
ask
even
you.
stuff as
Go ahead.
simple as I do locks, right? I'm a loctician, do locks. Women walk in my door off the bat. Your hair is so beautiful. And then I wish mine was like that. And I have to always, the first thing I start with is, nah, we ain't doing that today. We ain't,
Right.
we ain't doing that today. And they go, but your hair. I said, we have different hair textures, we have different hair types, we have different start times, we have different locticians, we have different, there's different everything. You can never look at another woman's locks and tell her, I wish mine were like yours. No, it ain't never gonna be. Your locks are your locks, mine are mine, and they're not gonna be exactly the same. And so
Absolutely.
don't say that. And I get on them. It's a lot of them. I get on all the time and be like, stop that. We're not comparing.
Yeah.
That is not. Your locks are gonna be beautiful on your head, and mine
I
are
remember
gonna be this.
when I was working at the funeral home full time, there was a guy, he walked in, I guess he used to see me a lot, and he said, man, I want his job. I said, well, I said, you can have it, but I'm pretty sure you'll give it back.
People
Look, you never know what
want
people.
what you got till like other races. They want what we got, but they don't want our problems. You want our rhythm, you want our
Absolutely.
soul, you want our this and our that and our swag, but you don't want none of our problems. Don't you shouldn't compare anything. No, but we do
Never
it. It's a
should.
human thing.
Yeah, but I
What's
feel like,
It's just a real thing.
but I feel like just because sometimes we are used to certain things, it don't mean that there aren't habits that we need to break. Because I feel like culturally, and I'm not just speaking about like white, like I'm just saying like in society, right? Like a lot of things been put in front of us to think a certain way or to feel a certain way. But when you really think about it, like everybody is somebody, everybody is, and nobody really, somebody might have more, money or stuff materialistic, but when you think about it, it's all, it don't really mean
No,
a whole
I'll
lot.
fight you on that one. No, I'm gonna fight you on that one. Black people are
Well,
untouched and unmatched.
but
I'm sorry.
but let me tell you why I say
we
that.
are creative. We are creative people. Everyone steals our culture. Everything we create, everything we do, everybody messes with it. Everything you can't. It's not. We're not built the same. We are different. We evoke
Take it.
love,
Look,
hate, and jealousy all in one thing. You get it
everything we
all.
did create, what somebody else took it and turned it into a bill, right?
They should. Man, listen. I swear. It's so. I mean,
I got you.
yes. Everyone has something, right? And whether it's people with money or it's people with power or it's influence. Some people want to be an influencer. They want to be as big as some of these people out here doing all this stuff on the internet and all that. And I'm like, but you don't know the path they took. Like you said, you don't know what nobody had to go through to get through.
No,
So
I
be
just
careful. It's a
I just want to be the person that God called me to be. I ain't got to be big, none of that stuff. I put it like that. Everybody is somebody. I actually wrote an article. I kind of got into journalism a little bit about how everybody is somebody, because again, we live in society where like we have kind of looked at other people as kind of like bigger and larger than life, but everybody's somebody. We all people just walking around. Like I say, some people might have a little more money or whatever, but at the end of the day, dust thou art, dust thou shalt return. That's the story of humanity, right? So, it's just
Mhm.
good to be humble, be grateful, be thankful. And, if God do bless you, well, hopefully you can be helpful to people. And I think that it's just so important to not always be like these stereotypical images that have been put in front of us. Like, you got to be the person that God called you to be. I got to stand
Let me
on
ask
that
you a
one.
question. Let me ask you a question, and I'm pass around with this one. Um, what's some of the better yet, I ain't gonna say some of, what's one of the biggest challenges that you had to face with either a family member or a friend when it comes to just having certain things and they wasn't able to have those certain things or do certain things?
You
What
know
was
what?
one of the mhm,
Honestly, I haven't really experienced that with my friends. Like, when I started my businesses, my friends
mhm,
understood that I felt a lot, because when I went to mortuary school, it took
right,
me a while to actually get my degree. And then it took me a while to get the license that I do have. And so when I got my license, my friend was right there for me. And even when I started my business, didn't even really want to charge me to help me out, but I had to pay them, because, like I said, I don't want nobody working for free, because I
that's
know the
right,
things that
yeah,
I went through for, working, and, sometimes people taking your kindness for weakness and all that stuff. So I think for me, I'm thankful to God that He blessed me with, people like my friend Eugene and my friend Jalen who stepped in, and my siblings, my brothers and my sisters and my father, everybody kind of pitched in and helped out. So like now I'm not saying that I haven't came across some people, because when I trained for pro wrestling now, we did have a few issues with some other individuals
Mm-hmm.
when I was training for that. But at the end of the day, like I said, I don't care if you're on TV or whatever. I respect everybody, because to me, people are people. Before I stepped into any of these industries, I was meeting different people, but I look at people as just people. And so to me, that's why I say, like, I'm thankful that I never really experienced that from a close level. Like I said, I'm not saying that people haven't been, but ain't no reason to be jealous of nobody, because again, everybody got their own birthday, everybody got their own exit date, and I'm pretty sure we don't want nobody exit date. I'm sure they don't want ours. So, be you.
That's right.
Right. That
Be
part.
you.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But yeah, that's I don't know. Comparisons are hard. And it's also hard to teach. Like when you're teaching kids not to be, don't compare yourself to others. You be the best you can be. If you raise a kid to grow up that way, they tend to do a little better in society because they're not busy worrying about what everybody thinks. But we all worry to a degree, I think. You worry about what your spouse thinks about you. You worry about your boyfriend, girlfriend, kids, your grandkids, whatever. You worry about hurting. Like we go back to the hurt and feelings things. We have to find a way to be honest with people. If you have a really loving relationship, you have a real relationship with somebody, you should be able to tell them whatever you need to tell them.
Absolutely.
In the right way, nice tone, perfect. Tell them in love, and I'm saying this out of love. This is what I feel right now about this. And then, but I feel like if you can't tell someone the truth, or you can't tell someone, hey, this is bothering me, that bothers me, or the other, or if you can't be honest about, no, you can't sing, you ain't going on American Idol because we not finna look crazy.
But
if you
I
can't
know
tell
some
somebody
people.
the truth,
But I know some
where do
people
you
that don't
have if
care
you
about
don't have
that.
that?
Like it's some people that maybe they can't sing or whatever, but they're not afraid to just
No, but I'm just
sing.
saying,
Yeah, I know what you're saying though.
they may
Yeah.
not care. They may not care, but some people get on that show and find out they really can't sing, or they really are shocked that they're being told they can't sing. But I'm just saying, you got to tell people the truth, and if you can't be in a space to tell someone, hey, XYZ is wrong, or I don't think you should do that, or these are my reasons for thinking this about that, what kind of relationship do you really have with that person? Is it real?
Yeah,
Is it true? Is
that
it
happened with me
something?
and my
Because I
grandfather
don't
one
like
time.
people lying to me.
Yeah.
That happened with me and my
Really?
grandfather one time. I remember when he was teaching me how to drive. My grandfather took me to the DMV. He was like, "Wait, I don't think you're ready." I said, "I'm going up there anyway." I failed test when I got out the lot.
Oh man.
But see, me, I've always been that type of person,
That's
but I
so
don't be
funny.
caring. Like I don't fear failure. Like some people might fear, but I really don't.
Right.
I don't fear it.
You're
I
not
laugh
supposed to,
at it
brother.
because I don't fear it.
It's not
Yeah,
even about fear and failure. It's getting the truth, right? The truth.
That's true, but hey, sometimes
I don't fear
perspective is a
failure
powerful
either. If
thing.
I did, I wouldn't. It
But
is, but
perspective is a powerful thing too, because sometimes what we don't see, somebody else,
Right.
But I
will definitely
I
see.
do
Yeah.
agree with you. I think that's where, like you said, having an honest conversation with people, and because I feel like once you kind of know people, you understand them. It's like because sometimes I know as people, right, we'll look at somebody and we'll just assume things about people. But I learned that like not everybody has the same perception on certain things. It's like some people know they probably can't do this or do that, but like you said, they don't care if somebody come along and say, "Well, you ain't good." And I say, "Well, I've been knew that. Okay, I'm gonna keep on doing it." Some people do.
Yeah. I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna say something.
I know
I'm
I
gonna
can't
open
say.
up. I'm gonna open up here. And one of the biggest things that came about for me, and this as of recent, is when I started this show. And the support that I was looking for, looking for from people that was close, it wasn't there. And
Yeah.
still, to this day, is somewhat not there. My deal is this here.
Hmm.
I'm not the type that's gonna go in competition with anybody or, worry about how they feel about certain things. All I can do is just ask you to check it out. But if you don't want to, that's your God
Hmm.
given choice. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? See, a lot like y'all know, a lot of folk they don't come around until they see that success part come in.
yeah,
Then that's when they want to come. That's when they want to
I've
come
seen that
around.
happen.
But
Yeah,
but for me, but
Yeah.
for me, you already should know what I'm gonna say. But my thing is this here: I'm not concerned about whether it's family, friends, or whatever support me now or even in the future. It's what I know, I feel, I
Hmm.
enjoy. The people that's
yeah,
with me, what they enjoy doing,
Right.
and what they love. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things
Yeah.
that I say that was when I first started this. It was something that kind of tapped me on the shoulder a little bit, but I ain't let it bother me because people gonna
yeah,
be people, and
yeah,
when they're like that, man, like I say, with anything, all you can do is just try to, you know, appreciate you anyway and keep it moving.
yeah.
You know
You
what I'm
know what?
saying?
I've been through that as well because I know like when I first started like doing my filmmaking and acting and stuff, a lot of people since they seen me doing like Chicago PD, and
Right.
I'm only being an extra on it. They like, oh, okay, you. But I mean, I've been filmmaking for 9 years, starring in my
Right.
own stuff. Not saying
Hmm.
that it's the greatest. I mean, I don't profess my work to be the greatest, but it's mine. But
That's right.
to me, it's just like I ain't waiting till somebody seeming to do big things to celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate you anyway because a lot of times we be looking for validation from the wrong places, not realizing that to me, I really appreciate people
Hmm.
who just build something from the ground up. I actually appreciate people like that even more because I understand that it takes a lot of effort to be able to do something like that to where
Right.
because my whole thing is about you should be building whether people looking or not. It's not about having the biggest following of things. That like
Right. Yeah.
I appreciate everybody who support me, and I support a lot of people who maybe not even support me. I'm not like it's not really like that with me. My whole thing is that like if I see something I like, I'm gonna reach
Right.
out and tell you. I
Yeah.
ain't hating on nobody saying, man, I wish I had now because I don't know what kind of problems they got. I don't even want mine sometimes. I sure don't want
And
nobody else.
and brother, I vouch for you on that. That's straight up facts, man. We both, when we first met, we acknowledge each other work, and it was an honor and it's a blessing, and it's great to have you here now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say thank you once again, brother.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying,
and yeah, and look, everybody goes through ups and downs, whether it be with family, friends, spouse,
yeah,
everybody goes through things, but you keep God first and you just keep pushing. And like my sister said, you deal with things if it bothers you or you concerned, but you should be able to gracefully and in love talk to people and have an open and honest conversation with them.
Were you saying addressing racism with love or addressing our own people with love? What
Well,
exactly
I
was
was just
that?
saying a lack of love, period, and racism, because I feel
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah.
they both are kind of prominent things that are kind of going
Did
on in
he just
society. Because,
disappear?
like, yep, he'll be back.
Okay, go ahead. I guess we'll just he'll come
But
back. He'll
but I
edit
want
it
to
all.
first,
I'm
but I first want to deal with the lack of love because I feel like as people, the world is not a bad place. I feel like it only becomes bad when we give room to bad things,
right.
and as people, we got to start taking accountability for how we treat one another, and like, I just see so many different people treating each other mean and being evil and, and being unkind. And then like, I, see so many people bashing each other online and all this stuff. And I'm like, why? Like, what's the
You
point?
know, okay, so I'm gonna admit it on camera. I own a Tesla. And the problem with owning a Tesla was the shock I had. I get crazy from other people, but the shock I had from the black community and their reaction to people who own Teslas. That's a Nazi. I said, well, y'all might as well just stop driving everything because none of them don't like us. So I'm just, letting you know, Elon is he's a majority shareholder, and I don't even know if he's the CEO anymore. And he does get paid off of some of Tesla. Tesla's a small part of his portfolio. He's got a huge portfolio. But I was like, y'all do realize some of us actually bought the car used, so Tesla didn't get my money.
Well,
You're judging people
yeah,
because what they drive with so much vehemence, judging people where to eat. Some people don't have nothing but Walmart in their area. They got to shop at Walmart. Some people ain't got nothing but a Target. They got to shop there. You don't know a circumstance or situation, but jumping down people's throats for it, like everybody ain't going to be able to protest the same way. Everybody ain't going to drive the same thing. But it's amazing how you were talking about online, how people are just so mean. And all I be telling people is, so what about those of us that bought the car used?
I
I don't give
remember
a
one
damn
time
about Elon.
I posted one of
Elon
my
don't care if
films.
you don't buy the cars.
I mean, the man still got money, so what do he care? But
He gonna have the
I
money no
remember,
matter what. Yeah, it's too late.
yeah, I remember one time I had posted. This was like years ago. I posted one of my films online, and there was one guy. He was like, "The sound was bad. This was bad," and I responded to him. I said, "Thanks for your feedback. Like, I'm not gonna get mad at you because maybe he was right. I don't get offended by that, but I feel like somebody giving you constructive criticism is different from just somebody just wanting to criticize. And like, I don't know, like
Right.
I think
Right.
that that that's a psychological problem. I think sometimes like when people just got a thrill to just bash other people and just like, it's I don't get it. It's something that'll never really make sense to me, you know. I don't understand it. I think that's like a controlling spirit or something like that. Like,
It,
sometimes people want.
well, I think it depends on the topic. If people are passionate about something, they can get out of hand. Um, and then when people are more eloquent with their speech, because I jacked a girl about the whole Tesla thing, and then she was like, I genuinely, am just asking, and you're just saying these things. And I said, oh, you know what? Let me back up and say it this way. Let me apologize because y'all feelings get hurt over everything. I said, so let me say it more eloquently for you and see if it feels better. And then when I said it more eloquently, she still didn't feel right. Like her head was, but I just explained in the sweetest
What
way
about
possible. And you
what
still
about the
don't like what I said.
But what about the platforms we use then? I mean, if you think about it, like, we don't own a lot of these big major platforms, but we own them. So
Right.
I
Oh,
think
there's a
that
great one
sometimes,
called Spill.
okay,
Have
I'm
y'all
gonna
heard
check
of
it
the
out.
one for us? It's called Spill.
Okay.
No.
Spill is
Eh,
Spill the tea, but it's called Spill. Go look it up, download it, join the community. You'll love it.
yeah. I
And it's
appreciate you for letting me.
accepting
Yeah,
of people as long as they're not talking crazy or radical.
yeah.
It's very
Well, I'm gonna be
safe.
honest.
It feels like a safe space.
I ain't. I'm not jumping down nobody's throat. Like I say, if I like me, I'm one of the people that like if I have any issues or whatever, I rather reach out to a person and talk to them in love and whatever and try to get an understanding. I'm not out there just trying to because I don't. First of all, I don't know a person. I ain't finna just approach somebody I don't know any kind of way.
Right.
We be so quick to judge other people, then turn around and be like, when people do it to us, then we like, oh, they just judge. So I think what's wrong with treating people how you want to be treated, and
Because people
trying
do
to
judge
learn.
people without even trying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So everybody need a hug a time or two. I'm gonna put it to you like that.
I remember one
Yeah.
time my tie was crooked, and the guy said, "Man, your
He
tie
said,
crooked." I said, long as my life ain't crooked, man. I'm one of them type of people.
Yeah.
I got more important things to worry about. Long as my life ain't crooked.
you have a great
Ain't crooked.
demeanor. I need to learn those lessons better.
Look, we worry about the wrong stuff sometimes.
The world?
Yeah.
Right. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
All of us, yeah.
It happens, but
Oh,
I feel like it just comes with maturity. And I think
Right.
once people grow up and be mature, then your mindset change about a lot of stuff. You know.
Yeah.
It-
Trust me, I've been on guard for too many decades. Put it that way.
yeah.
But first thing, I see somebody approach, and because the reality is, I'm a cool brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like, "What's up? How you doing, man? What's up, brother?" You know what I'm saying? But then you got those few that just kind of give you that look, and you be like, "Man, hey, not today." You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's it's one of those things over time that I had to kind of learn how to simmer down and just sit back a
yeah,
little bit, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is not what it seems to be. Just like when people see me, they walk by me. I guess my Nina tell them to get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not how I am. You know what I'm saying? That's not how I am. So, hey, I got a beautiful face. I got a beautiful
Your
face.
face
My mama
said,
got the same face. You know what I'm saying? And you then my mom be mad about something, but nah, that's just a natural face, and she's the sweetest person in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. But I
it's
don't.
all
But my whole thing is that's why like I try not to be, too harsh on people because it takes time for you to get to know people. Like we see one little
right.
thing and then people just start bashing people and you don't even know this person. Like so everything like every time we just see something, it ain't good to just start assuming and just judging other people because we don't like it when people do it to us. But like I said, I
right.
don't wear my feelings on my sleeve. Like people got it right. People got it right to their opinion. So
That's
it
it.
don't really move me at all. I just keep walking.
That's it. That's what we got to do.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
Mm, mm. Yeah, you're right.
and and as far as this thing about racism, I think that it's just crazy. I think that it's something that has existed a very long time. And I just don't know what possessed another person just to look at somebody because of the color of their skin or because of their race and all, and not like we all people. I mean, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, we might have our different cultures and different things of that nature, but we people, you
Yeah.
know.
Too too short said it best, man. We all the same color underneath, and I think a lot of people
Mhm.
don't. And it's crazy because some of our own ethnicity, we dislike each other too.
Oh,
It's
that's even worse,
Uh,
ain't it?
yeah. It's
well,
sad
that's a
that
product of racism, though.
yeah,
That's
yeah. It
classism and all kinds of other stuff, and not wanting to be considered one of the bad ones. And you got all these different things, but just because you you can cut open, there are very different kinds of birds, but even though they're all birds, they really aren't all the same on the inside. Even though we have the same type of body parts and whatever, our function in our blood is different. The chemical composition, our genetics and DNA is different. So even though The you may have genetic the same type of composition of our organs, bodies, even though we all have the similar organs or the same organs, DNA wise, genetic wise, all the things, we are very different people across different quote unquote races. Because I don't even like that people are racist, because race theory wasn't created with the beginning of the world. It's something that came along because people look different and they, depending on where they live and whatever, right? But I can't agree with that. We're all the same thing, because no, if that was the case, we wouldn't be treated so harsh. We're treated more harshly than anybody across the world.
well, yeah,
That's a
that's definitely
worldwide
You know
thing.
what? I
We
think,
are
but I,
different. We
but,
are just not.
but I,
You
yeah, but
can't. You
I
can't
got
look
what you,
at
I got where you
everybody and say
coming.
we all the same.
No, I got where you coming from. I got where you coming from on that. But it's like, with me, what I'm just saying is that I feel like that was people that did that. That was people that divided people, and
If you believe in the Bible, if
it's
you believe in the
it's
Word of God, that's not.
well, no, but hold on, let I got where you going, but let me just say this though, just need an organ or an eye or a kidney or something
Yeah, I'm
like
not.
that,
So I won't be a donor for just anybody. I have a specific way that my organs would be donated. It's in my will and testament and in a living will. It's in a living document that says exactly what's going to happen with my organs and who they're going to go
That's
to
all.
and
Look,
who they won't.
that's all I'm saying. But
I know, but
but and at the end of the day, I still believe that as human beings, though, you know, it don't hurt nobody to be kind to somebody else.
nope,
I
it
think
doesn't.
I think you should be vigilant. But I think, but then this goes into people choosing to be good and evil. So now we have to go down that road now because
Well, many
I
of there's many people that do choose evil over good, and then we've always forever as a people trying to forgive and accept and invite folks to the cookout and all that. Those days are slowly becoming over because you're getting tired of getting slapped by the same people you invite
ain't like
into
look.
the
You notice
circle, right?
I said you notice I said that don't mean that you don't be vigilant.
Oh no, you're
Because
constantly
we
vigilant, but we live in a state of vigilance because we don't have any choice right now. We don't have a choice. There's no choice.
absolutely.
You and now what's happening is people are tired of having to worry about it and just pulling back. Period. Just pull back and mind your business because this is not our, whatever. And I think that you're right. Be vigilant, be careful. I'm kind to everybody until you give me a reason not to be.
Right.
The
That's
minute you
all I'm
turn the
saying. Like I
corner
said,
though.
I'm not saying again.
But I think a lot
I'm
of
not.
people are like that. I think there's more people like that
Yeah,
than not.
yeah. But that's all I'm saying. Like I'm not trying to convince nobody any other way. All I'm just saying is that you know the world is not a bad place. It's the choices that we make as people that make this place what it is.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I got you. I can understand that. I just think in the end, it is better to choose kindness when you can, right? But at a certain point, nah, when you taking my kindness for weakness, you won't something else. You gonna cross a threshold that you don't want to meet, and
I
that's not
got
a
you.
fun place to go. So just, you know,
Yeah,
I
well,
be
trust
asking
me.
God, can you just put, Michael and Gabriel on either side of me so people understand I'm not the one? Leave me alone. Just
You
leave me
know,
alone. Don't do
I
it.
think we all kind of, I ain't gonna say wish, but I take that back. I think we all kind of wish that we can know or understand what
Let's
really
just get
started
along.
racism. Yeah, what really started that? Who started that? You get what I'm saying?
But
Um,
so before racism though, remember, okay, do you believe in the Bible?
of course.
Yeah, you talk
Okay,
about
so
with
in
the
the
divisions of
Bible,
the different.
Hmm.
people were
All the
separated and divided in the Bible.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
the
check this
tribe.
out. Check this out. I'm gonna say something about that. I believe in the Bible, but the Bible I believe in is the Bible that's been imprinted in your heart. Okay, the Bible that's there. All you gotta think about it. There's also that Bible been actually written by man, which had been given, from the high aboves to write down. Your
It
main
depends on
Bible
which
is
Bible
within
you
your heart.
talking about too.
Okay, so my deal is this here. When it comes to the fact of hatred, it's
Yeah,
still like a lot of unanswered questions with that.
yeah,
Where did it originate from? Because you think about
Well,
from
it, it,
from
you say what? If you
generation to
think about
generation.
what?
Now, if you think about all the generations of the past, um, all the cultures, what really started that? You get what I'm saying? That's not something that just I want to say happened. That had to be taught. That had to be taught because I don't think this my belief. Just because we look different in skin, we're still people.
yeah.
And that was one of the
If
things
you
I
read,
always been
but
curious
if you
about.
believe in the Bible and the Word of God, that is not what it says. It don't say that.
I know that. That's why I
It
said the
don't say
part
that.
about.
It doesn't.
That's why I said the part
Yeah,
about
it's not
the
even about
fact
being
that
taught.
I know what you're saying. That's why I say the part of the fact that also the Bible is man written. There's no way that you can get those pages like that. Okay, so
If you believe in God, you believe it was inspired by God. Some Bibles have
it
been
was
changed. It's
inspired.
so many
Yes.
Bibles out there. But if you
Yeah.
go back to the Torah or
Hmm.
you go back to, the Septuagint before anybody start changing things, what comes out that's completely the truth is if you believe there's a creator, you have to believe some of that word. And that word said
Yeah.
that everybody's not the same. It's not We are all
The
human.
original scriptures, the original scriptures. You want to know the truth? I don't think we ever seen them. But like I say, there's the blessing is engraved in here.
Yeah.
What's out on sheets? You get what I'm saying? What's out on sheets is still
But that
written
ain't
by men.
engraved in everybody.
But but
True,
And
I
people
think
aren't always taught to hate.
true.
Animals are not taught how to be animals. They're born and they be that thing. A lion is just gonna be a lion, and a duck is gonna be a duck, and a bear is gonna be a bear. And they were born into those bodies, and that's what they become, and that's what they learn how to adapt to whatever they have been into. They just are that thing. We're also animals, mammals, right?
Mhm.
According to science.
Right?
So you're born with a certain thing in you. You're born with a thing in you. And there are people that just ain't born with compassion. They're not born with love. They're not born with. They're born without those things. There's people born with whatever they're
you think
born.
do
Some
you think
stuff
that
is taught,
do you
but
think
other
they're
stuff
born without
is in you.
or you think that it's a
Mhm.
choice? I like to believe that it's more of a choice that
I
people
I
make.
I think people can make a choice, but God gave them free will, so they don't have to make that choice. And I believe some people grow up liking to be in the space they're in. Some people grow up in communities and they're taught a certain thing, and they grow up and go see another part of the world. I've seen this happen a lot. Conservative white kids
Hmm.
go to the third world country, come back, and they don't agree with their parents at all. I've
Yeah.
seen that happen. They be like, "No, what are you doing?" I mean, they literally fight with their parents about their view of the world, right? But some of them just, some of them,
You
you
don't
know,
think that it's a choice? It,
I do think people have a choice, but I think some people are born with certain things in them that's just in them
Mm.
that ain't gonna change no matter what you do.
but I know what you're saying, but I'm saying, but isn't that a choice though to change or not to change? I would say that it's
That's
still a choice.
And many people make the choice to be not loving, not kind. They make the choice to be
that's
evil.
just
They make the choice to like people to go out there and
that
kill folks. They just make a
that's
choice. They
just
want to do
like
that. And people go, but it's a product of their upbringing and they went through a traumatic experience. Well, okay, I guess, but they're still making a choice, right? But they're inherently not going to change. They're going to
a
be what they
molester.
are.
That's just like a molester. What causes that person to be a molester if they ain't never been touched by anyone?
Because
I
there,
think you
if you
might
believe in the word of God, there's angels and demons, there's good and bad, there's evil in this world, and we're born into sin. Since we're
absolutely.
born imperfect and in sin, we may have a thing where there's something in you that ain't right.
Well,
Mhm.
that's a great answer. That's a
Mm.
great answer.
I mean, if you don't believe now, if you don't believe in God and you don't believe in the spirit realm and you don't believe that those things exist, then yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, let me
You,
tell you,
you
I know they
people
exist.
do have a choice. People still have
You
a
talking to a
choice.
Right.
man that you
People
talking
still
to a
have a
man that done
choice,
had
man,
experience with the so I do believe in angels and
with the
demons.
realm.
I know for a fact those things exist. And I know God is because I know put it like this, somebody had to think about this and create all this, but I don't
There's
know.
no way it wasn't created. Yeah, evolution is not real.
I
Absolutely.
I tell the story all the time, and I'm just gonna say bits and pieces of it here. I woke up on this app, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was done. I was done. So I believe. Ain't no ifs,
Yeah.
ands, or buts. I always believed. If it ain't your time, God ain't gonna let you go.
Let me tell you, I believe,
Hey,
Right.
I shared this with you before, my brother. When I was going to school,
yes, sir.
I was on the, I was headed toward the north side of Chicago on the Brown Line train. It was two guys discussing something. Little old lady sitting in the corner. Guys got off the train. Lady stopped me, said, "Them guys was gonna rob you, but I was here."
Mm,
I know God is
Mm.
real,
that's
But
right.
that's why, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I choose to be vigilant, but I still choose to love and respect people. But that don't mean that I'm not
Oh, I do
aware or
too.
alert.
I do, but
And it don't mean that I don't believe in keeping a piece of steel with me too. Now, I don't want to have to go there, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna, talk about that. But yeah,
I ain't afraid to say that. I keep it real.
Yeah. Hey, I'm like this here. They say serve and protect. I say serve and protect your own shit.
Yeah.
I leave it just like that. I'll make sure I'm straight. So
don't be That's not the first choice. You know what I'm saying?
I believe in word of mouth right now, but everybody's not going to be on that vibe. And
but again, everybody, like I said, everybody don't think about everything the same way. But I still say we can at least be kind, at least, and not be so quick
yep.
to assume things about people.
I think people have tried really hard to do that and still try hard to do that. But once you cross the line, then they're not, nowadays, I don't think people are as forgiving. There's enough information in this world for you to understand that if we don't all work together, it could be a treacherous place for everyone.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
that community wanted all white community. And I'm like, so you get an all white community, go ahead. But then if somebody else does that, you want to burn, pillage, steal, kill, rape, harm, and hurt their people and not let them go be separate and equal, right? We already went through all that. We tried that.
Yeah.
That doesn't work either, right? So then when they go and have an all white society where they don't want nobody else, they not gonna have no Asian. You ain't having Chinese food. Your ass ain't having soul food. You're not gonna have Mexican food. Who gonna make all that for you? Who gonna clean your houses? You gonna hire? I mean, I guess you're gonna hire those white people in your community that don't want to do that either to do the work, right? Yeah, it don't make sense.
Right.
None of that makes sense. But go ahead, do it.
But
We're good.
but
Everybody is go do it.
I put it like this. I all I just hope is that as people, we all make the right choice in life. Because I do believe everything we do in this life, if we ain't careful, it's a payday.
You're accounted for.
I don't care how much money somebody got. It's a payday that won't be so pretty. So I hope we make the right choices.
You can't buy your way to glory.
That's it.
And guess what? Can't buy your way in.
And you have great ideas. No, you can't buy your way out. But your view is one that a lot of us should remember to take. You give people a chance until you can't anymore, right? You give them, you extend the leaf, or extend the hand of friendship, or even civility, and then they're going to do with that what they will, and then you make your decisions from there. I don't judge a whole anybody by a whole group of people. I do give people the opportunity to show me their face, the real one.
Yeah.
And when they show it, and I make a decision to no longer deal with them or love on them and continue to deal with them, right?
Yeah.
So you're right. You have to. It's best to live that way, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I can't live by like how other people do. Then I can only trust how the Most High God, according to the best of my knowledge of His word, So I think it's just always to be rather safe than sorry.
Than sorry.
There you go. That's it. Well, guess what, everybody? Once again, we got another one down. I'm the one and only DJ Robi Keit. I got my main man, Wade Simmons, joining me on the show today, and the one and only, the lovely one, Miss Lika Bee. You know what I'm saying? We down for another one, and this is right here on Initiation 843 The Y. Catch y'all in the next round.
Peace.